We welcome you all here for the Doublemint Cup Series here for the round of Michigan. Ian Dutta qualifying the pole here. Angel Navarro on his outside. We will have 42 drivers competing for a victory here at the Michigan International Speedway. Green flag is out in the air. We are racing here at Michigan. Here with a few races left here for the chase, drivers are going to be getting desperate. As Ian Dutta coming into turn number 1, William Duncan on the bumper already. That 32 getting hounded by Duncan. Remember, William Duncan with the win there. As see Eric Rodriguez a bit out of shape at a turn number 2 as they roar down the back straightaway. And in turn number 3, William Duncan's gonna get the spot. Zachary Fitzwater with a full head of steam out of turn 4, trying to get to P2. And Zachary Fitzwater's gonna try and lead lap 1, but Duncan holds on as Zachary Fitzwater is gonna be pounding on that number 6 machine. The Advocare car looking very fast this weekend here, and Zachary Fitzwater is gonna be hungry for his first victory here. As a couple cars up the hill, Eric Rodriguez slapping the wall. As you see lots of drivers getting out of shape near the back there. As you see a lot of sparks and debris flying out of that second corner there. As Duncan still holds on to the lead. Fitzwater with that outside run holds on to second. But the rest of the field is getting quite chaotic near the back half. As a lot of them are going to be racing very hard for position there. Duncan still holding on to that lead here on lap number 3. He's got a gap over Zachary Fitzwater. Chris Dodd now going to the bottom. There you see Dutta up top. PJ Williams, one of the few top points contenders there, is Tommy Turbo slapping the wall at a turn 2, definitely finding some damage with that machine there. And Duncan's really just trying to pull away here, but Zachary Fitzwater is really not done anything quite yet. A couple drivers making their way up. Mike Cock, Rancho Cucamonga, not Rancho Cucamonga, O'Neal Baldwin there, Jeffrey Finga. A lot of drivers are going to try and use that outside line. A couple of them near the back, really just trying to take it nice and easy. As there you see Andy Thomas with right side damage to the 23 machine. She slapped the wall quite a lot. As here you see another angle out of turn 2. Again, you see how many drivers will slap the wall here, so we might see their little Michigan stripes here at these high bank tracks here. As Navarro trying to go underneath the 43, trying to get some side draft there, couldn't quite make it work. And Fitzwater still doing a great job of defending. The Australian really trying to bring some diversity here for the Doublemint Cup Series, and he's certainly showing here very consistent on the racetrack, yet without a win. So we might expect to see this 43 car in victory lane today, potentially here, as Chris Dodd up the racetrack again. Tommy Turbo is right there, and a bit of contact, and they hold on to it for dear life. But really, these cars are just tank slapping turn 2 really hard, and that's what really cost them a lot of time, and maybe even tightened up the setup for them here in this long run. As Ian Dutta getting some help from Jeffrey Fingai. This is a battle for the 5th position, and Fingai goes down to the bottom of the racetrack there. He's going to try and make it 3 wide into turn number 1. And looks like he's going to try and back off there. You can't really do much on that inside lane. The middle groove and the high groove are the way to go here at Michigan, and when you're side by side to be exact. But everybody's really kept their composure ever since the start of the green. Dylan Young off to a rocky start here in the 2. He is looking for a win, but he's currently last right now. A lot of these drivers kind of struggling. Joey Murphy's been struggling with the handling of his race car. Nick Gunther, there's the Entrepreneur NASCAR, Dylan Schwalmberg. A lot of drivers starting in the back are really pretty much remained there since the start of the green flag. But right now, Duncan's pulling a gap over Zachary Fitzwater. Can William Duncan go for 2 wins in a row, or will someone else spoil the party here today in Michigan? Cody Lama slapping the wall for turn 2. They're going to go 3 wide there. Matthews making an aggressive move down the bottom of the Kelly Blue Book machine. Now trying to find some effort in. Backs off there and loses a lot of positions there on the racetrack. So Kyle Matthews having some issues with that 24 there out of the entrance of turn 3. So definitely had to push up the racetrack. Navarro's going to go down low. Hernandez following on tow. But Richard Johnson in the 21, he made the chase last year. He's looking to repeat history here and make it again. Dylan Schwalmberg is one of the few contenders that from season 1 that made the chase. Is currently in it right now. with the win in his belt, as they're going to go 4 wide there. Jonathan Rains down the bottom, Finguy and Balvin in the middle, and Dutta up top. Who's going to yield? And Dutta hits the wall off of turn 4. And that's going to cost him quite a lot of track position, as there you see Jesse Turner now trying to use the outside line. There you see the 11 of Pat Johnson down at the bottom of the racetrack. Kev Shear, PJ Williams, they're all making it 4 wide. Balvin way up high in the racetrack, and he's going to be against the wall, and Turner's going to hit him, and they all spin down the back straightaway. O'Neal Balvin takes a wild spin. There's PJ Williams, and looks like we saw some more sparks flying. Lots of drivers scrambling for position as the caution is going to wave. A wild couple of laps here at Michigan. It's put a lot of cars with damage, and they're still scrambling. Chris Dunn slapping the wall a lot of times out of turn 4, and the caution is going to fly. William Duncan is still your leader here at Michigan Motor Speedway, but what a great amount of laps here we've had in the opening stage here at Michigan. And it looked like coming into turn 1, Balvin had a flat tire coming into the corner, trying to keep it off the wall. Dutta was right there. They were 3 wide, and then Balvin slaps the wall. Jesse Turner turns the 1. Really nothing Turner could do. And that puts Kev Shear and PJ Williams into a spin cycle, sending all 3 cars really binding down the back straightaway there, all the way down the racetrack, bringing out our first caution here. A wild race here so far at Michigan. 4 wide racing and all. And already we've got some cars hitting the wall and with damage here today. And trying to avoid the accident there, JT Bryant and Annie Thomas collided, and Thomas went into the outside wall in turns 3 and 4. Heavy back end damage to the Dr. Pepper machine, and that's certainly not going to help Annie Thomas's case here today. And here we go, coming to the green flag to start lap number 13 here. 14, excuse me. William Duncan will be leading us down here. Mike Hawk in second there in the RCR machine. Green flag back in the air. There you see Fitzwater already pouncing to the top side there, trying to get the momentum. But looks like here comes the rest of the inside line kicking into play. Richard Johnson now looking in the middle, but Rains makes it 3 wide on the bottom of the track. That 38 machine is hungry for a win, and they've been struggling all season. There you see the 14 car of Jeffrey Finguy making his way up into the pack. He's been one to look out for today, as well as the other car of Bill Gunther in the 34 there. Finguy makes it 3 wide, can't quite make it work. And there you see he backs off, but he's going to lose a lot of momentum, as Mike Hawk is certainly going to try and hunt down William Duncan there. The 38 of Jonathan Rains hungry for a win as well. Fitzwater on the pouncing charge as well here in the 5th position there. And certainly trying to use side draft there, really trying to loosen up the 38 there out of turn 2. Can't quite make it work, as William Duncan still leading the pack. Theo Stegall slapping the wall for turn 2 there. As Fitzwater looks underneath for 3rd, Rains looks for 2nd. And that's actually the battle for 4th there, excuse me there. Angel Navarro is looking right there. You see that 78 Furniture Row machine has been strong all day. And it's certainly one of the guys to look out for as well. But William Duncan has been the dominant car to beat so far. You need to keep an eye out on that 6th car. As Mike Hawk certainly on that outside line, now trying to hold on for dear life for 2nd. Navarro gives the 38 a shot. And the 3 up the racetrack, up the hill, and he's going to slap the wall really hard off of turn 2. And that's certainly going to cost him a lot of track position. Finguy, Pat Johnson, Turbo. And there you see Barnes there, as well as Hernandez and Brock. They're all going to be passing this 3 car in a moment, because that damage is certainly going to hurt him with the aerodynamics of his race car, as well as suspension of the right side of the number 3. But back up front, Zachary Fitzwater and William Duncan are real neck and neck into turn number 1. Fitzwater down at the bottom. Can he take the lead away? Side draft out of turn 2. Duncan's going to get the run off the corner there, but they are side by side for the race lead. Can Fitzwater pass the number 6 for the lead for a lead change here at Michigan? Yes, he has, and Zachary Fitzwater, the Australian, has taken the lead away in the STP Ford for RPM. Fitzwater is now your new leader here for lap number 18 of the race here. But William Duncan is right there. Can he do a crossover into turn number 1? He's looking in the middle groove there. There you see a lot of the 4th are dominating this top 4 here. while the rest of the field are just pouncing on each other, scrambling for track position on these restarts. But it's been Zachary Fitzwater now taking the lead away from William Duncan. Duncan's led a lot of the early half of the race, and now looks like it's Fitzwater's turn to take the lead away, as there you see Richard Johnson and Jonathan Rains there in the picture there, and they are all just excited for a victory here in the Doublemint Cup Series. And in the turn number 1 again, Fitzwater's just trying to hold on that middle groove. He gets the run off the corner. Richard Johnson with an excellent corner out of turn 2 as well. He might try to look low underneath the 6 Advocare machine, and it looks like it's not really going to work, but Johnson's looking low, loosened the 6 up, almost gave him a bump into that corner. Certainly that's not what you want to do to run a clean race car there. You see the difference in the grills between the cars, so not really much of an aerodynamic advantage, but it just shows their preference of race car in the Ford Fusion here. You can debate on having a striped like grill or the front end like that, and a little bit more diamond like grill, just the generic one for the 2017-2016 chassis there. Looking near the back half of the field here though, Dylan Young's actually been climbing his way up. He's actually in 29th, so that's not really saying much actually. And really a lot of drivers have been struggling. Ian Dutta, our pole sitter, hasn't really been able to really recover since the start of the green flag. He was up front for a majority of the early going, and now he's dropped back quite a lot. He's down to 19th on the grid there. Mike Hawk in the same boat. Remember, he slapped the wall for turn 2 pretty hard. So that's certainly going to cost him some track position like I mentioned, and it's really hurt them in this long run here. And there you see Jonathan Zolan smacking the wall off of turn 2 there. But right now, Zachary Fitzwater is currently your leader. They'll be catching lap traffic here. Jeremy Jones has been struggling with the race car there. They've been reporting they've had some issues with his car in terms of horsepower and power steering. So Jeremy Jones certainly not having the run he's wanted today for the Jimmy John's machine. As Zachary Fitzwater is going to use that middle groove again. That's pretty much been his prevalent line here at Michigan, and it's been the dominant line you see when someone's on your inside, unless they make a bad mistake. Then that could really cost them quite a lot of track position there. And there you see Jeremy Jones now staying in the middle groove down at the bottom, really holding up that inside line and the middle groove, but not to William Duncan's liking. But he's lucky he's actually in the playoffs, or in the chase to be exact. So that's not really going to hurt him too much, because even a good run will help William Duncan in the point standings no matter what. So we might expect to see Fitzwater be able to pull away from a gap here. Jesse Turner struggling with his race car there. Remember, he's had damage in an earlier incident there early on the race, and a bit of contact there, and Jones smacks the wall for turn 2. They got a bit dicey there, and certainly were not happy with lap cars in the way, and he's only going a slow 175 miles per hour. That's how slow these drivers are with damage, and well, that's just for Jeremy Jones' case here, and it's really held up a lot of the field. It's really caused a big bottleneck of cars just trying to scramble around the slow 4. But really, the top 3 are trying to check out here. Pat Johnson's made his way to the 4th spot. Quiet run for the FedEx Express machine there. FedEx Ground machine, excuse me. There, so they're certainly finding something new with that 11 car, and they found some good handling with that 11 car, and he's done a good job. So and the Duncan in 34, Bill Gunther hasn't really had the best of runs this season, and he's certainly trying to change things up. As we're looking near the back half of the field here, just to make sure we don't have as much trouble. Fitzwater's still actually losing some ground here, really, when you're by yourself in clean air. Even so, this is still good for Zachary Fitzwater, trying to lead some laps here in the Doublemint Cup Series. In that 43, we saw this car in victory lane at Las Vegas last season with Regan Smith, and Fitzwater could bring this car in victory lane today. So we could expect some high hopes for the Australian here, Richard Johnson, a Sony Cup champion. Multiple Sony Cup champion to be exact, to reiterate, to be honest there. Certainly trying to bring in some experience back into his career there. He's really trying to rejuvenate himself here. Running in the 2nd spot for the Wood Brothers Racing Team. He drove for JTG last year, made the chase, and made it pretty far. Almost made it to the round of 4, but ended up just short there. But Richard Johnson really just trying to be as consistent as he can and maybe snatch a victory away here for the former Sony Cup champion. But right now you see how fast that 21's going to get out of turn 4. You saw him gain some ground there, so Fitzwater definitely struggling with the center speed there. in the corner, so I think Richard Johnson might be faster than him in this run here, so Fitzwater might have used his tires up quite a bit. As there you see Jonathan Rains there, sitting in that third spot. Quiet run for the Front Row Motorsports machine. Fitzwater up the hill there, so Richard Johnson really just trying to catch some ground here. He's really just trying to run some consistent laps. On the radar here, another driver we haven't really seen do good this season is the 18 of Gabe Williams. He's been struggling a lot this season, and he's had not really much good luck and good fortune in his mindset here today, and really just overall in his career. While PJ Williams has found success, he's actually been on a bit of a slump recently as well. So PJ Williams certainly not having the best of luck here in the Doublemint Cup Series so far this season, despite being up front in the point standings. But a battle for position here. William Duncan now trying to get around Jonathan Rains for the third position. This 6 car is one guy to look out for. But Rains holds strong on the outside line, and great defending for the MDS Ford. But Duncan's gonna fight back on the inside line. Look at the run he gets off the exit. Proper exit for William Duncan. Shows the veteran driver, well, a rookie driver to be exact with Doublemint, but a veteran on the circuit here with tracks like these. William Duncan has the experience, and it's not really any different from like the Insomniac Elite Series cars, but very much William Duncan knows how to run a race car. But right now, Zachary Fitzwater has been the guy to look out for here after taking the lead from William Duncan. Richard Johnson hasn't really done much to really catch this 43, but he's basically sit there in second. So maybe they're waiting for pit stops to change things up here to really recycle themselves. Whoever will be the leader, this will determine it all in pit stops here. With about 20 laps to go here, Fitzwater has just been untouchable since they pass on the 6 car. But they're going to be catching lap traffic again. Jeremy Jones is still running at a rather slow pace. These guys are running about 209 miles per hour, and that shows how ferocious these drivers are and how fast they are in the circuit. Duncan tried to look low there, didn't look like it was going to work whatsoever, and Bill Gunther is now going to have the run of his life at a turn 4 and maybe try to use some side draft on that 6 machine. But otherwise, it's been a rather clean race. Zachary Fitzwater, again, like I've mentioned several times, him and William Duncan have been the class of the field. Duncan's just trying to fight back for some lost track position there due to lap traffic and losing the lead to Fitzwater himself. So either way, he's really just done a great job so far running in the top 5. This is where this is the most deserving top 5 we've seen all race. So these are the guys to look out for. But did you see another driver, the Cheerios Chevrolet, Tommy Turbo, has been making his way up the pack as well. He's been running in the 6th spot, Pat Johnson 7th, and the Tommy Baldwin racing car, William Brock's been running in that 8th position, so he's done a fantastic job. Where Tommy Baldwin Racing still hasn't gotten that first win yet for himself, but Tommy Baldwin Racing has found victory lane before us, so they're not too much of a stranger, not specific at Michigan, but in the Doublemint Cup Series itself. But it looks like in terms of winning, car number 88 is probably the driver that's been luckiest of most. Jeremy Jones did come down pit lane, but Rick Johnson actually has taken the lead. Looks like Fitzwater did come down pit lane, so we are having our case of green flag pit stops kicking into play here. Fitzwater certainly one of the first few to pit. He's got the philosophy of pitting early. You might be able to gain some time on the leaders here and maybe gain some time in those behind you, so certainly Fitzwater might be going for the 4-tire stop here. We're going to see where that 43 is going to end up, but right now we're going to focus back on Richard Johnson. He's coming down pit lane this time. Duncan stays out. They're going to go an extra lap here. Let's see any other drivers that will be staying out. Doesn't look like it's going to be a case unless they've already pitted. So it looks like Duncan's going to be the lone survivor there that will be staying out, and if a caution does come out, this could play in his favor here, or maybe not. It depends on if he laps the field here, as William Duncan is the only driver that has not pitted yet. Everybody else has pitted but the 6 car. And William Duncan, here he comes into turn number 3 and 4. There he goes. He's slowing down, so that does indicate he's pitting this time. He's boxing this time around, and William Duncan will be coming down pit lane here. As we're going to focus here, Tommy Turbo with an excellent stop there in the 95. They've done something right. Fitzwater is the first one out as normal. But we're going to have to pay attention with where Richard Johnson and the others will be pitting and staying out. Johnson coming out of pit lane, but he had a really slow stop there from what I recall. Pat Johnson And even the 1 car, I believe, might have had a better stop. Not really, actually looks like the 38 had the better stop than the 11 and the 21, but I think Rick hit the wall there. Out of pit lane there, but here comes Zachary Fitzwater on the charge here. He's really he's hungry for that win, but I think he's lost some time this time around. But it's going to be a close battle out. Pat Johnson will merge in front of the 43, but Fitzwater will have the run into turn number 3. He passes the 11. Can he pass the 38? Jonathan Rains on the inside line. Fitzwater up top, and Zachary Fitzwater is going to reclaim the lead. So it was a close battle out, but it might have been a bit too close for comfort for Zachary Fitzwater there, so definitely had to do some more improvements for that 43 team in terms of pit crew. But Zachary Fitzwater, he's on the outside line. He's probably going to get the advantage because of the 5 car. He's going to use that car as a pick. There's William Duncan coming out. And will he inherit the lead? Fitzwater up top. And Fitzwater holds on. But Duncan's right there as well, as they're going to get around the lap cars there. Duncan's just trying to get up to speed, so he's going to get pounced on by a lot more drivers here. Zorlin way up the hill there, trying to yield his way out of lead lap cars, so he's doing a fine job, not really doing anything specifically dumb. But Fitzwater has been the car to look out for here today. Richard Johnson has lost a lot of positions on the racetrack because of that lengthy pit stop, so Richard is not going to be really the happiest man on the radio, but not very upset with the team. Even so, a good run will help this 21 team a lot in the point standings here, so they could move up a lot here. But Fitzwater is now getting around lap traffic again. Jonathan Rains and Tommy Turbo are right there. Turbo is a winner here in the Doublemint Cup Stage 1 at Soir, and he's looking for his 2nd victory of the season for the 95 team. This 95 car has been fast all day. Definitely found some speed in the latter half of this race here, so Tommy Turbo really setting up a good pace for the car here today. A couple more drivers that have kind of been dropping back on the grid since the start of the green flag of that restart. Jeffrey Fingai has been dropping dramatically. He's in 21st. Kev Shear, who spun early in the race, is actually in 22nd, which is actually an impressive feat, knowing the damage you have on the race car. A couple more drivers. Hendrick has really struggled with the handling of their race cars today, with the 48-88, really, especially with those cars running 29th, 30th. Johnny Gardner's been struggling with his race car. Team Penske has not found much speed here today as well, so it's really been a tough break for those big teams. But Jonathan Rains is now trying to reel in Fitzwater again. There's Duncan there in the 6th, so we really need to keep out an eye on this top 5 here. They're all in a pack, but I also see the 34 in the picture as well. Pat Johnson, another driver that could be a dark horse to win here today in the Joe Gibbs Racing 11. But Zachary Fitzwater has just held on for dear life, defending his line. Turbo with the run off of corner number 4. Can he get the run off? He's going to use some side draft on that 38. He's got to pass him ASAP if he wants to catch Fitzwater. They're all right there, but they all got to work together if they want to get around this 43 so they can contend for a win. Turbo down the inside, trying to shove the 38 up the hill there. But Rains is going to fight back on that outside groove. And looks like Rains will hold on for 2nd. And they all got a lot of catching up to do if they want to pass Zachary Fitzwater for the race lead. And Fitzwater just trying to set sail. The most dominant car here today, that wasn't William Duncan. Fitzwater has been the car to beat here today at Michigan. Oh, we also have to mention pole sitter Ian Dutta running 24th. Angel Navarro, I have no idea where he's at. He's 36, so definitely something I missed with the Furniture Row racing car of the 78. But Turbo now looking low underneath the reins. Can he get the run off the corner again? William Duncan now trying. Look at the massive run. William Duncan gets into turn number 3 there. He's going to try and use the middle groove this time around to see if anything impactful happens there. And Rains is now fighting back on that outside groove. Fitzwater's going to try and block the top lane here with 9 laps to go. Wife Henrietta Fitzwater, from what I recall, hopefully not wrong, so apologies there. Henrietta Fitzwater waiting in the pit box here, wanting to see this Australian in victory lane here today. And really, it's been a good run for Zachary Fitzwater here. Remember, we heard recently that he broke a Sony Cup Series winless streak here today. He won at Watkins Glen. Can he win here at Michigan here for the Doublemint Cup Series for his first ever victory here in Season 2? Since this series has started, Tommy Turbo, though, is right there in the second spot. He has closed in on the 43 there. Duncan really can't do much. He's sitting in that fourth spot. Jonathan Rains in third, looking low, looking down the inside. Tommy Turbo's up high, and here comes Rains with a full head of steam into turn number 2. Can't quite make it work, and Tommy Turbo's gonna hold on to that second spot. Great effort for the 95 here. They're doing a impressive job here. Remember, we saw Sergio Alonso run an impressive run with this 95 team with several pole positions. They switched to Chevy, and now they are also just as fast as they were before. So this 95 car is a rather much of a dark horse as well. But Zachary Fitzwater is very much an underdog, but a very deserving driver to see here win today. But there you see Duncan up using the high groove this time around to see if he can do anything around the 38. He's going to go up high again. More drivers slapping that wall for turn 2. Not as much. The 18 actually hit that wall there. Just a tad. But Duncan now experimenting late racetrack lanes here. Now going up high. Whoa, what a full head of steam he got on the 38. And William Duncan now up to P3 here. This 6 car has definitely found something on the racetrack. Will he make a move down the inside? Yes, he does. An aggressive move down low. Trying to take second away from Tommy Turbo. Duncan looking low, but it looks like it's not really going to stick this time around. And really, he can't really do much. There's William Brock now into the picture in that 5th spot. He's been quiet all race, but he's done a fantastic job here. They are all just fender to fender. They'll be catching lap traffic in a bit here too. So Tommy Turbo is just waiting to make a move here on Fitzwater. Can the 43 car hold on for dear life? Or will other circumstances ruin their chances of winning? Or will someone else in the top 5 take the victory here today at Michigan? We are here with 5 laps to go. Fitzwater now left the door open. Turbo looked low but backed off. He knew it wasn't worth it. And William Duncan, he now looks low, trying to look underneath the 95, but it looks like that's not going to happen either. So really, Tommy Turbo has really a good shot at winning here. He might look low underneath Fitzwater again, but lap traffic really is going to play a role here. This is going to be the deciding factor here with 4 laps to go here at Michigan International Raceway here. And they've all just been bumper to bumper, fender for the fender here. The top 5 are all in contention for a victory here today. They are all going to be closing in on Jesse Turner and other lap cars. Mike Cook, Stegall, Navarro, Matthews. And like I said, Turner, and down the inside goes Tommy Turbo. He's looking for a run there. Fitzwater on the outside line here. This is going to be a great race here with 3 laps to go. Fitzwater up top. Turbo down at the bottom. Duncan's going to try and give assistance here. Will he make it 3 wide? Yes, he does. Duncan makes it 3 wide. Fitzwater holds top. And Turbo down at the bottom. They are still side by side. Where will Sidedraft kick into the race for both of them? As there you see Rains up to 3rd again. Fitzwater is still up top. And Turbo's down at the bottom in the middle groove there, side by side. Here they come out of turn number 4. It is going to be 2 laps to go here at Michigan International Raceway. Can Fitzwater do the unthinkable? Or will Tommy Turbo spoil the party and take the victory? Or will William Duncan do the same thing and take 2 in a row here? We haven't seen this since Chuck Petty of Season 1. Fitzwater up top there. They are all just fender to fender. Lap traffic hasn't really played a role quite yet here, but Fitzwater's got the advantage in turn 3 there. But here comes Turbo. He dives it in hard into turn number 3. Side by side still here. And here they come. It is going to be the white flag. 1 more lap to go here in Michigan. Turbo with the advantage. Duncan's going to try and help. Will he make it 3 wide again? Duncan is going to try and look low, and he does. Duncan down at the bottom. Can he make it work? Turbo makes it stick. He passes Fitzwater in a last lap pass. What a phenomenal pass there. And Fitzwater's going to try and attack 1 more time. Can the Australian do it? He's been close so many times, but here they come off the final 2 corners, and Tommy Turbo with an aggressive move on Zachary Fitzwater. Win number 2 of his career is gonna happen, and he wins here in Michigan. What a sensational finish here for the Doublemint Cup Series. Michigan has failed to disappoint here, but Zachary Fitzwater, you've got to feel bad for him. He ends up short here today, led the most laps, and will end up second. He's rather going to be frustrated, but it's nothing you can do. That was hard racing at its finest, and that is certainly going to be one of the highlights of the Doublemint Cup Series races this season. But here are the results here. First through 28, Turbo wins, barely in the last lap pass. What a phenomenal race here at the end. I didn't expect that to happen. And well, congratulations here as you look at the rest of the results there. Congratulations to Tommy Turbo on win number 2 of his career, as we'll take a look at the point standings here shortly after.